time, which means 60 or 65% of the class hour, which means roughly the 9 or 10 weeks for the database design, and the other part is selected the database topic. I cannot finish because the main problem I try to offer the query optimizer, the project, which is tough and challenging, but it will help a lot to understand such important database, the theory and the concept. However, if I use only the 30 to 40% of the time of the semester for the advanced part, I don't think I have enough time. So that was the main reason. But I realized that it's not easy to catch up everything for student. The very short time of the database design, especially for the undergraduate student. Okay. So anyway, so thanks so much to your hard work throughout the semester, and also thank you so much for the graduate assistant, Neima. She did a lot of job, believe it or not. So I didn't prepare the example. She prepared for your better understanding and uploaded. So I really appreciate her work. But that doesn't mean that it can be any excuse for your performance or output. If you forget or miss anything, you need to contact the GA, the NEMA, as soon as possible. I'm not going to consider the late, the appeal or the late excuse, especially after final exam. Okay, so you need to check once you are taking the final exam, which means I'm probably ready for your final grade. I will just input your final exam score into the Excel sheet, then it will be automatically determine everything. Really, that's what I'm doing. Okay? So please contact the GA if you have any problem. Do you schedule for the demonstration for the project? Yes. So do not miss such opportunity the best way, because each and every team, this is not a programming course, so I do not specify the program language, which means each student, each team use different programming environment. Even same environment, sometimes executable file or sometimes just a source file. It requires several specific library. So I definitely suggest to contact. If she cannot compile, she cannot run it, definitely you cannot get the full grade. Okay, for the final exam. For the final grade first. Final grade, as I announced before, the undergraduate and graduate student will be considered separately, which means it's a different weight and different the curve if needed. So based on the performance of the midterm exam, it's a little bit lower than I expect. So probably curve will be applied, but separately applied. So do not complain some of the students got this one because they are the undergraduate or the graduate student. And that's the finally the grade. But mostly I'm focusing on when I apply the curve, I usually like the normal distribution, the Gaussian distribution. Okay? In case your overall performance is good enough, like the Poisson distribution, yes. So everybody can get it, or exponential distribution, whatever, which means many students already did. But before apply the curve, if that is not skewed, I try to keep usually it's the normal distribution. Okay, then I try to shift. That's what I'm doing when I determine the final grade. Okay, for the final exam, so it will be the exactly same format, which means you will get the probably 20 the multiple choices, but you have plenty of time, the 2 hours. Okay, so which means it will be one of the problem of the midterm exam is 1 hour just 15 minutes. So you have a short time, so you didn't have enough time to answer everything. But the final exam you have enough time, so take time to answer your final exam. And multiple choice, I usually try to my best, make it easy, but not always true. So I never make the tricky question. Okay, it's usually from the textbook or the from the slide, I'd like to even I don't want to change the wording. Okay, that sometimes makes the problem. So which means you don't have to try to memorize everything. Try to understand, then you can easily find. Also, from time to time, I make the question from the lecture. Okay, so if you attend regularly my lectures, so probably you can easily answer. Regarding to the open-ended question, it will be this time probably four open-ended question, but we have done the several important after the SQL and relational algebra is up to the midterm exam, right? So it will not be. But for example, if you do not know the SQL, if you do not know the relational algebra, you cannot do the query optimizer. So query optimizer, what I can do, there are a lot of things I can do, right? So I can give the sample query and find the cost of the given the database state. So at that time, if I'm very happy or comfortable or something good feeling, I can give the even equation, but sometimes not. So it's but don't try to memorize that cost function. Actually, the cost function is not rocket science, right? If you understand, then you can make it during the exam even. So also we have learned a little bit, not details. Actually, that's one thing I neglect, the normalization. But the normalization also needed. So, but if you did your quiz and the GA actually did the lecture a little bit, so probably you can do easily. And also we have learned about the index, so B3 index or B+3 index. So that's the one of my favorite question because it's easy to make the question. Really, so I can make the just number. Then they specify either B3, sometimes B3, sometimes B+3. However, if the average of your grade is terrible usually, because that's, in my sense, most of students believe they understand, but never practice. Just at least one time, why don't you practice by yourself? Okay? And also don't forget the pointer, what data structure. B3 and B+3 are different. Most common mistake, one of the common mistake is that B+3 actually based on the B3. However, different data structure, internal node and leaf node. Internal node, it use also B3 index, right? For the internal node. If you do not understand what I'm saying, so you need to study, right? So if you can understand, you understand what I'm focusing on. So the B+3, you should be careful. You need to use the B3 index also. And yes.
It's like in the leaf node, it's like a pointer from.
Yeah, sibling pointer.
Yeah, sibling pointer. But can we go like reverse direction for the searching?
Oh no, reverse you don't have to. Reverse can be used for the merge when you drop the, but I ignore the delete the data, delete the item, so you don't have to worry about reverse. Okay, but reverse pointer can be used for the merging. So some of the B3 index, B+3 index use them back pointer.
Okay, so for the searching, it's like if we are on the leaf node, and if you want to go like for the right side.
Yes, only
so
the right side. Yes.
The pointer, right?
Yes.
But how you decide like for the cost, it's like from we are going to left to right. Is it less cost or if we are going to like from the.
So for the cost, I sometimes can ask how many blocks do you need to access the data using your index. Okay? At that time, you can just count the number of blocks that you are traveling. That's pretty much enough using your index structure. Okay? One of the question was to select something from employee where the ID is bigger than 5. Okay, for example, it's the inequality and it was a disaster. So After that, I never gave the such an example. But if you understand the index tree structure, you can. But from time to time, I'm not sure whether this time it depends on my available time. If I give the something the long description answer, question and answer, it takes a long time to grade. So, but I like the, for example, the given situation, explain your opinion about how to build your system or the how to recover or the something like that. But it depends on how much time I have the grading. You know the how long it takes to grade nowadays. So I actually hire my wife, and she actually most of grading is done by me, but she just grade the multiple choice and the sum of the partial point. Even it takes 6 to 7 hours to grade all of you. So it's really long time. So that's
Question.
yes.
You say don't worry about delete for the B plus G, right?
Did I say the don't worry? The which one?
For the B plus G, going to delete and no for the
Oh
B.
yeah, delete. No, I didn't explain. So deletion is much more complicated. At that time, you need to consider back pointer also.
Oh, so back pointer is what you
No, I didn't explain.
Oh, so no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, thanks so much throughout the semester, and good luck for your final. And if you are graduating, the May 8th, congratulations, and hope to. I wish you have the good job or any further to your career. And if you are continuing, so hope to see you again in the classroom. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I
Okay.
have like two announcements. One is like if any undergrad students attempt B1 or B2, you have to email me before Tuesday, like Monday night, within Monday night. And same timing for any of the homeworks being left for anyone, because I believe for homework 5 and homework 6, 5 or 6 students are still missing too. So, but I locked it, so you have to email me. So if you have homework 5 and homework 6 still you need to attend, you have to email me. And I'm graduating, so hopefully I'm done. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Zaina.